Hello and welcome to Spread Bookjoy. Today I'm going to be doing the S tag. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jack, and if you're not new, welcome back to Spread Bookjoy. And it is the title, Spread Bookjoy. That was the reason I was tagged in this video. So Sandy over at MsReads A recently did the S tag. In fact, she did the Q, R and S tags, all tags with questions about the letter S and things that begin with S or Q or R in Sandy's case, so she did all of them. And these were created by Jim over at Jim's Books and Reading and Stuff. And Jim is a delightful member of the Booktube community, and he is working his way through the alphabet. I think he's up to U right now, creating tags for each letter of the alphabet. And the S tag, Sandy tagged me because my channel name is Spread Bookjoy. Before I get into it, I'm going to do a tag, and I've just checked to see if this person has done this video and this tag, and they haven't. And so I'm going to tag Gina Stanya. So Gina, because one, your surname begins with S, and two, some of these questions are about things that I know you are, well, there's a Star Trek question, let's just put it that way. So Gina Stanya, tag your it. S is for science fiction. Which science fiction author have you read the most books by? And I'm sorry to say, I don't think I've read nearly enough science fiction in my life. I've read quite a bit. I love science fiction, absolutely love it. But I've not read any of the classics like Arthur C. Clarke or Isaac Asimov. I did try and read, did I read I, Robot? I feel like I've read I, Robot. Maybe not. But yeah, I've not read nearly enough science fiction in my life to say that I've read more of one particular author. It would probably have to be between Jules Verne, because I read Journey to the Centre of the Earth and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea when I was younger. Kim Stanley Robinson, because I read his Mars trilogy, Red Mars, Blue Mars and Green Mars. And because that's a trilogy of 3 books, I don't think I've read more than 3 books by any one particular sci-fi author, though it was probably going to come back and haunt me, because I'll probably remember just when I finish this of an author that I've read tons of books. Oh, hang on. Douglas Adams. Does Douglas Adams count? Because there are 5 books in the Hitchhikers series. So possibly Douglas Adams, actually, if Douglas Adams counts as a sci-fi author. So I haven't read nearly enough sci-fi though. I really want to get into some classic sci-fi. S is for Star Trek. Which is your favourite Star Trek show? Next Generation. I have watched classic Star Trek. I grew up watching because my mum was a huge Star Trek fan, loved it, and we grew up watching it. And I do love classic Star Trek. I always enjoy it. But when I was a kid growing up in the 80s, TNG at the end of the 80s, Star Trek Next Generation, that was my game. I loved it. We all loved it. Me and all my brothers really enjoyed it, and I still love watching it now. I really liked Voyager. I did like some Deep Space Nine. Didn't watch Enterprise. Can't believe I didn't. And I love the reimaginings, I suppose, the latest reboots of Star Trek franchise on cinema. Well, at least the first one. The first one's brilliant. The other two, I still enjoy them and I'll still watch them. But yeah, if I have to pick a favourite of all the TV shows and one that I watched the most, it would be Next Generation. Love it. S is for school story. What is your favourite book with a school setting? I'm going to have to say, hands down, if I have to pick one for life, it would be the Enid Blyton and Mallory Towers books. If I had to pick a specific one out of the entire series, I like the 5th form one where they put on the play. I really like that one. But I love a book with a school setting, particularly a boarding school setting when I was a kid. Loved those growing up. S is for satire. What is your favourite satirical novel? Actually, one of my favourite novelists is Terry Pratchett, who is a satirical novelist. He uses the medium of fantasy to satirise some of the issues of the day. My favourite of his books, I've got 3 that I really, really love, but if I was going to recommend one to anyone, because it's a standalone Discworld novel, I would recommend Small Gods, in which he satirises religion. Very sensitively done. And it's not about religion being a bad thing, it's about the things that are done in the name of religion and what true belief is and what that means. So it's an excellent book, highly recommend that. I'm gonna have to read this bit. The log cabin prompt. You are in a log cabin with no internet and no Kindle. In the log cabin are 4 books. Scarlet Sins by Dane Cobain. I'm going to put these titles on the screen so you can see them. The Sword of Kaigen by Wang, and The Accidental by Ali Smith, and City by Clifford D. Simak. Which book do you start reading? Which book will you give as a gift to a booktuber, and which booktuber? It is a little cold in the cabin, which would, oh gosh, I'm going to go through the first one. Which book do you start reading? Well, it would either be, and I want to read this one anyway, so actually I'm going to say it straight away, it would be The Sword of Kaigen by Wang, because I love fantasy, so I would start reading that one straight away. Which book would you give as a gift to a booktuber, and which booktuber? Well, The Accidental by Ali Smith. I think I would give that to Sandy over at MsReads A. I think she might enjoy that. The next book's which book would you burn for warmth? I don't like burning books. So yeah, this is a bit of a tricky one. I wouldn't like to burn a book. I'd probably burn something other than a book. Like Sandy said, I'd burn a chair or something before I'd burn a book. But if you're going to make me pick, it would be The Scarlet Sins by Dane Cobain, because it's a collection of short stories and I'm not a fan of short stories. And the last one, which would you leave behind for the next video? So, well, it would have to be City by Clifford D. Simak, although I quite fancy reading that after looking it up. That's a sci-fi book about a robot. So yeah, I kind of want to read that now. S is for Steinbeck. Which is your favourite Steinbeck novel? I'm a Philistine, never read any Steinbeck. Most classic American literature. I've not even read Of Mice and Men, which a lot of people read when they're in school, but we didn't study it over here. Not in my school. Not that we didn't study it over here. I think it's studied in a lot of GCSE English lit classes, but I didn't do it. S is for Satire. Is Satire worth reading? I would say yes, because I've not given Satire a go, so I don't think anything you've not read yet is worth giving a go, but I've never read any Satire, so I can't wholeheartedly say that it is worth reading. S is for Shakespeare. Which is your favourite Shakespeare play? My favourite is A Midsummer Night's Dream, although I have got a soft spot for Much Ado About Nothing, which I also studied at A-level and loved. Studied both of those at A-level and loved them both. I do like his comedies rather than his tragedies, has to be said. What was the last Shakespeare play you saw performed at a theatre? And I can tell you exactly what it was. It was 3 years ago, and I watched The Tempest, and it was performed by the children in year 5 at my school. That was the last Shakespeare play I saw performed at a theatre. S is for Stalin. Stalin was a monster. Did he have any redeemable features? Qualities? Qualities. Don't know enough about Stalin. All I know he was a monster, so I'm going to have to go with no. S is for short story. What is your preferred length of fictional reading material? I like big books. Bigger the better, the longer the better, and a big long series. As a fantasy reader, I am all in for however many books are in a series. If I'm enjoying the series and I like it, yes, the bigger the better. Short stories, aside from fairy tales, which I adore, I'm not a fan of the short story, although having said that, I can think of several that I absolutely love. I like a ghost story. I do like, Neil Gaiman has written some amazing short stories that I've really enjoyed, but yeah, generally I don't go for collections of short stories unless it's an author that I really love, or a kind of genre of stories. I recently bought a collection of folk tales. Well, it's not a collection of folk tales, it's a collection of stories, feminist short stories written by modern writers based on British folk tales. So that's the sort of thing, if I buy a short story collection, it's because the premise or the focus or the author really intrigues me, but generally no, short stories are not my bag. I am a huge, epic, sprawling, massive book reader. The last S is not a question, it is a prompt. It is for subscribers, because Jim recently hit 500 subscribers. So congratulations, Jim. 500 subscribers is a milestone to reach. And Jim has been on YouTube about the same time as me, and he's watched my videos for quite a while now, and I've recently been getting into his channel, and it is really worth checking out. His alphabet tag videos are really interesting, and he knows an awful lot. He lives in Georgia as well, so there's some content all around the fact that he lives in Georgia, not the state in America, the country, just in case anyone's wondering. But yeah, so yeah, do go and check out Jim's original S video, which I'll link in the description box, and subscribe to his channel because it is wonderful. And if you liked my rambling nonsense about S's and you want more of my rambling nonsense and you've not been here before, you can click the subscriber bell, and hopefully I will see you again here soon. Bye.